KZ Guy 2 here, No Nonsense Know How again. Today, real quick, how to diagnose and repair the horn on this 2004 GMC Yukon. This should go for 2003 to 2007 GM trucks. Let me know if it works for yours. I'm also going to show you how to remove this horn pad real quick. So right now, with key off, I hit this horn. Horn's not working at all. So first, some quick checks. We're going to run through this real quick here. Pop your hood, take a fuse box off here. Flip it up. You can read. We got horn fuse here, horn relay there. So come over to your relay, pop that relay out with some pliers. I already have mine loose here. And of course I'm using the power probe. If you haven't used one of these before, check them out. They're really awesome if you work on cars a lot. You can basically apply power and ground, and it's kind of a multimeter too. I'll put a link down below if you want to check these out. And you can see on my power probe, since the needle's pretty fat on here, I'm using a little clip-on alligator with a needle on there to be able to get in there. So on your 4 pins here, you should have a power right there, a power right there. If you don't, go ahead and check out your fuse and your wiring. Now over here should be a ground, and that's your horn. That says your horn is good, actually, the wiring going to your horn. And if you apply power to that, the horn should beep. It does. Okay, great. So we have a working horn. And then over here, this one is going to be the ground. When you push the horn switch, that should be a ground. So we'll go back to that in a minute. Now, if your horn's not working on this vehicle, it's located over on the passenger side, right up in here. There's a view of it, that rusty looking piece right there. So I'm not going to show you how to get to that, but it's one bolt popping off, and you can get those horns pretty cheap on Amazon too. But again, if you don't have a ground on this pin right here, then you probably have a wiring issue to that horn too, or something, or it could be a bad horn causing no ground there as well. Now let's verify that the relay works. Get yourself a short piece of wire like this, strip both ends, and stick the copper end in that hole there, and then just barely push your relay into place. Just enough to contact all four. Don't shove it all the way in there. Now, if I apply ground to this one right here, horn should beep if the relay works. It does. So we know the relay is working properly. Now we're going to go mess with the horn pad, but before doing so, disconnect your negative terminal. This is 8mm or 5/16 to get that off. Alright, so just like all the older Chevy trucks, this is the most common issue. There's a gap around here. A lot of time dirt and debris can get up in there and cause a problem where you get a bad connection on the clock spring. So to get it open, get yourself a pick or a small punch like this, and on each side you have a little hole. You push this in, and then you can pop pad on it. And same thing on the other side. Push that right in straight so it's hitting the spring. Push that spring and pop that open. Sorry about the camera angle there. I'll show you what I'm talking about here though. When you slide in there, you basically want to hit that spring enough so it's sliding back and sliding off of the groove on here. Now with this pad off, I temporarily connected my battery back up, and the way this system works is this whole plate back here is grounded. And then you have these two little wires coming off of each side, and they go down to this connector right here. So when you push down on this right here, it's contacting that back there and hopefully making a good ground. A lot of time you get some corrosion in there. One way to do it is get some emery cloth and clean that out. But I've decided that's not going to be my problem, because I went ahead and applied a ground to this right here. Right now I'm grounding that, and still the horn's not going on. So that leads me to believe my problem is going to be in here. This is the second most probable cause. So twist this a little bit as you're pushing in, and then pop this thing out of here. I don't know exactly how the best way to get that out, but anyway, so let's check this out. All right, so we got some hair buildup on there. So what I'm going to do is clean this off, and then hit it with a little emery cloth too, and put it back in there and see if the horn works. One method I've seen people do also, if this gets worn out, you can replace this whole assembly, or you can actually take solder, and build this up a little bit to extend it if you're not making good contact down there on the clock spring. Alright, so I used some electrical cleaner, sprayed it in there, and then blew that out with compressed air. And then I took a slight emery cloth and I just barely rubbed a little bit on here to clean this up. You take this and you line the groove, these little tabs up right here. You line those up, one of them with the arrow. And with those lined up in the arrow, you should be able to slip this straight down and just snap it into place. It's in there nice and good. Now, when I push on these, Horn works on all 4. So that's what I found being a problem with this one. Again, sometimes the problem lies within the contacts here. So one way to clean it is get yourself a piece of sandpaper or emery cloth like this, and you can kind of slide that behind there, sneak in there to clean those contacts off just a touch. You don't want to get crazy with it. Or you can take these Torx off and clean them all out, that way. So anyway, to put this back on, I'm not even going to disconnect the battery, but have that all assembled and then just give it one good hit. And now the horn works good. If you found the video helpful, consider giving it a thumbs up and checking out the channel. Definitely appreciate that. Sorry if I ran through it too quick. Wanted to keep it short, sweet, and to the point. So until next time, KZ Guy 2, No Nonsense, No How, and you enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you.